take you to get in focus, and that's when you take the picture. So you don't go focus and then you see, oh, here it's matching, but I'm going to go and beyond, and I'm going to go back and forth and see where's the best focus. If you do that, you're almost certain to get pictures that are out of focus. So the way to do it is simply just be sloppy. You just go here, focus, there it is, and you can just go back, refocus, there it is again, there it is again. And even if not all the pictures are in focus, then at least some of them are going to be. All kinds of stuff will happen. So if you had this like an M for 3 days or 30 years, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I'll focus, I'll do a portrait, and I come back to the computer. The face is totally blurred and the background is totally sharp, and I have no idea. I'm sure I focused on the eyes, but something happened, and it just keeps happening. Nothing to do about it, so don't worry about it. Don't sit and count how many photos is out of focus. The thing is, you go out, for example, here a day and you photograph, and I never really check my screen. If I get back to my computer and I see, wow, there's a lot of things that the focus is off, then I will go outside and check the camera. But it's not something I consistently do. When I walk around, I check my focus and zoom in, because you can't even tell on the screen. It's something you can tell when you get to a big screen. And if it's off, it's going to be consistently for 1 or several days, and then you check the camera and you send it in for service if you have to. One more thing, to be able to focus, because you're not a miracle maker, you have to find something that is a high contrast. So it means you have to find a line or an edge of something. And you can say, for example, with the eyes, it's much easier if you hold the camera like this, because then you're going to focus on this line under the eye. Than this, if you hold it like this, you can try to get the pupil in focus. That's really hard. And of course, it's really hard when it gets dark, because you can't see that clearly. So even there, you even need a higher contrast edge than you do in daylight. And you cannot use repeating patterns. You can see like this fence here. It's just repeating patterns of lines. And if I try to get that in focus, I cannot really tell which one is on top of what. So I go, this one matches. I turn a little bit. This one also matches. This one also matches. But there's no uniqueness. I cannot match which one is it that is supposed to be on top of the other one. So it's just very basic. Don't expect you're able to focus a camera if you don't, I would say, use logic. And that means find a line, something unique and high contrast that you can actually tell when it's on top of the other one. So this is with the rangefinder. Of course, that's nice, and I still think it's a miracle that Leica can make a rangefinder that is this precise, mechanical, even with the Nox Lux and 90mm telelenses. With the M9, the focus was fine, but it would go out. The M2.4 got slightly more stable, and the N10 is even more stable. And there's also improvement in the viewfinder, the size of it and the contrast of it, that makes it even easier to focus. You cannot really tell the difference between M9 and M10 when you look at it, but the results is just better. So that's the thing on this. With the M240 and the M10, you get the possibility that now you can also put on a EVF. So you have the live view, and I can actually hit the live view. I could use the screen here if I wanted to. So I could just focus this way. So you can zoom in. This is a 5x. I could also go with 10x. It's almost too much. But you can see here I have it. I'm going to press this one. I get the full frame. And now this thing is in focus. And I can take the picture. But it's actually a small screen. You have your viewing field here, and you're looking at a small screen here. And I have to have it really far away to do that. So I have my EVF here. That when I first got the camera, I put on this one. And I used the EVF a lot on the M240. And I really liked it. On this one, I thought it was so big and ugly, so I didn't really like it. But now I kind of changed my mind, because sometimes it's actually nice. To activate, I have to press LV. And I set my camera up so I have the picture up here and never on the screen. You can also have so it's on the screen, and then when you push your eye close to this one or something in front of this one, the picture goes to this one. I prefer to just have it here. And you have the diopter. For me, my glasses are new, so I can just have it straight here. But else you just adjust it. And the way you adjust it is that the text inside the viewfinder has to be sharp and crisp. So when the text is crisp, then whenever you focus, you will see it also. And the great thing about this EVF is that you actually see the frame, and you see also the focus. You see the exposure. You see everything. So you're just ready to shoot. I'm just going to wait for those two here. They should be running here, but they're just walking. There we go. And I'll just take 3 photos when they walk into to the line of my focus. And then you could say that's the same I do if I use rangefinder, EVF. When I focus for somebody walking into the frame, I'm not going to do follow focus. I'm not going to try to focus on them while they walk towards me and then take the picture. Because the moment I press the shutter, there's going to be a little bit of delay. And they're going to be half or 1 feet closer to me, so it's going to be out of focus. So the only way to photograph people and bicycles and stuff in the street is you pre-focus for a spot on the ground, and then when the person comes into it, you take 3 or 4 photos, and then usually one of them is in focus, sometimes none of them. But the EVF here is just great in the way that it does slow down the camera. You can say that the M10 is actually an advantage, because the M10, when I set it on continuous, if I take on the EVF and I try to take 1 picture, I usually take 2. This one slows down the whole camera. So I take 1 picture, and I actually only take 1. It also means if I want to take pictures really fast, it's going to be slower than without DVF. But for now, this actually suits me with DVF. And I've done one more thing in this one. One thing is that when you have live view here, you can see it here. When I turn this one, it's set to automatic focus aid. So when I turn this one, it's going to zoom in. And actually, when I'm in this one, I can change it. So now it's 5x here. And this is 10x. 10x is a little bit too much. 5x is better. And then I can focus in, and then I zoomed in. And when I press the shutter release, it's going to take the full frame. And now it's in focus, and I have the full frame. I can say this is the one I want to do. And so that's the options with the M. You can use the rangefinder for a while, and you will actually be really good at it. You can put on the EVF, and that's going to make life a lot easier, and especially in the dark. So that's all I have to say on focus on this one. So the bottom line is, be sloppy with it, and you're going to have pictures out of focus, and you're going to have some pictures that are really super in focus, and that's how it is. That's the whole point. So here I'll just use the lamp as focusing point, so you can see I hold the camera on this because it's easy to get the focus in. And now I can turn the camera around and get my frame. I'm just going to wait for somebody to walk into focus. What's going to happen it's going to be a traffic jam. It's going to happen in a few seconds. See right there. Yeah. There we go. 3 of those. So you see I'm not actually really focusing on persons, I'm just focusing at a point, and I'll pick any point that's easy to focus on, a line, a shadow, or here I use the lamp pole, and just wait for the person to come in. So it doesn't matter with the people, they're going to be in focus when they walk by the point, mostly. It's nice here, it's very, very cold. We do a lot of hard work for you.